Yeah, against this right back, Charlie.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on.
Because you always used to act when that defenders are being given like.
I'm like, oh shit. Hey, well, why? Hey, why is the intro so bad? You know, serious technical difficulty. Am I live? Okay, it's technical difficulties done. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, appreciative to have you lot tuned in. Hope you're all enjoying your weekend. Hope you've all had a progressive week. Hope everyone's fit and healthy and your loved ones the same. People, as usual, appreciative for all the support you lot give me across all my content. As you can see, I still haven't properly set up, so shout out to you lot. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Shout out to the Twitch ones. Any comments, opinions, questions, feel no sort of way, and quite frankly, get them in, man. We're here for a good time and a long time and all of those sort of things, people. So yeah, man said we have, I think you mean, you know, shout out South London. You said we have to basically get top four, no excuses for Arteta. Assuming that David Ornstein is correct, and we are really actually about to get Raphinha to go with not Richarlison. Sorry, Gabriel Jesus. It could be lit for Arsenal, really and truly. What's going on at Arsenal? I don't know, man. You know, maybe we shouldn't qualify for the Champions League in general, because God knows who we would have signed if we actually got Champions League football, really and truly, man. I don't know. But anyways, people, appreciative for you lot tuned in. Apologies for any technical difficulties. My internet's been kind of crap. But same way, we get to 200 likes, we get into the transfer news. Other than that, get your opinions, questions, and talk points in. DG, love the grind. Appreciate that, Hudson. Hope you're doing well and safe. Man said you done an Arteta. If you get Richarlison, it's scary. I can't lie. Is it really? It's a statement signing by Arsenal. Statement signings. I didn't see, you know, as Arsenal fans, we're used to one or the other. But it'd be a great signing. But I mean, everybody in the Premier signing things. I don't want to water it down. Of course, I'm gassed if we do sign Raphinha to go with Gabriel Jesus. For me, Telemans as well. You get someone able to play at left back, among other things. We got a decent squad. But when we look past the euphoria of a shiny new toy, again, it's going to take more than one man to get this club back to where it needs to get. You know, Raphinha's a lit player, but he's hardly the most household name in the Premier League. He's hardly first name on the team sheet for Brazil. He's been a big fish in a small pond, at least. No disrespect to him. He's 25, 26 years of age, so we need to take him to the next level. He can't do it alone. And when you get past the signing and the shiny gloss of it, I know we all like the transfer market. How are we going to use him? Because again, clubs are going to double up against him, same way with Saka, really. You know, for Raphinha and these guys to really thrive, they need consistent movement, playing little neat 1-2s and all of that. As I keep saying, our first defender is Gab Jesus signing, assuming he does sign. And our first defender is, our first attacker, is Ramsdale. So we're going to take heed. I'll be gassed about Raphinha, but once you look past once you get over the fact that we've signed him and anybody else, there's a big element of coaching. We can't escape the grind. You know, again, there's a lot of pressure on Arteta for the obvious. He's taken the role, all the question marks. Money's been spent again, assuming these things happen. You're going to need to get a tune out of the players. In terms of game management, street smartness, scoring more goals, looking better defensively, our mentality in reacting to setbacks, maybe winning games that we should lose and things like that. You know, all of this is solved in the walls of London Coley and things like that. It's going to take more than just signing. So I'm here for it. You know, we've got a squad at the right age. I know typically a squad doesn't stay together for a long period of time, but if you could tie down Saka and Martinelli again, you've got Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, assuming Raphinha and Jesus come into the club. Fabio Vieira's just walked in, Haaland, Demon in Smith Rowe, Martin Odegaard, a fantastic player. You've just bought it, you know, you've got Gabriel, you've just bought Ramsdale. Tomiyasu behaves like a veteran, but he's not that old. Tierney, regardless of his injury record, is, you know, in his early 20s. So there's a good squad here, and they should reflect the manager in that young, hungry, and eager to prove a point, not just for Arsenal Football Club and whatnot, but in their own careers, because none of you have been there, done it, and wore the T-shirt really and truly. I'm gassed if we get Raphinha because, you know, it's a player that gets bums off seats, excites people. Obviously, I don't think he's anything like Alexis Sanchez beyond the obvious, but you can bet Arsenal fans will draw parallels. You know, it takes the burden off Saka. It's competition for Saka, etc. It's just a player that could make us better. Again, I don't want to water it down, but I'm still, can you blame me, people? I'm still a bit pessimistic on it. I'm not pessimistic on Jesus or Telemans, but it just feels like, I don't know, until I see him in an Arsenal shirt, I just feel they're trying to zang us over there in Spain and put pressure. And the only real winners from a potential bidding war is Leeds. 1 second, people. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, obviously. So yeah. Hopefully we sign the man, but if not, it is what it is. I just hope we're able to move on. I know the talk of the town is if we don't get him, you lot all want Cody Gakpo. Obviously, as long as Gnabry hasn't committed his future to Bayern Munich, we're still going to do that. I'm sure there's some other bits and pieces. I wish we would stop with the negativity as Arsenal fans. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. Been tuning in regularly recent, bro. Loving the show. Appreciate that. What I always say is if there's reasons to be negative, be negative. If there's reasons to be positive, be positives. But, you know, when things are going well, there's things you can do better. When things are going bad, there are bright spots. And I know in football, it captures all our emotions. It brings out the primary emotion. Look, it makes grown men behave like little kids and do things. But you're right. It's important to keep a balanced headspace. You know, I think there's a saying, what misery loves company. When Arsenal or any team doing bad, you know, everyone flocks towards certain content creators and things like that, or just everyone wants to talk bad about Arsenal. Positivity can be a drug as well, because as we know, there's some Arsenal fans, you know, that kind of smoke hippie crack, if I'm completely honest with you. It's a positive we didn't get Champions League. Hell, them guys might have been right if we signed these Brazilian dons, but it is what it is, man. It's a lit signing, but again, it's what you get out of these players as well, because money's been spent. I'm not gonna lie, there are some exciting players. There's no, you know, we ain't got no Mo Salah and Messi and Neymar and that, but there's a good crop of players, definitely in the last 18 months or so. I would say this is the most positive Arsenal fans have been throughout a season. But in terms of the playing stuff, there's, you know, the young players are identifiable with. The only reason you can criticize Tomiyasu, Tierney and Partey is actually when they're not there. You know, whatever you say about Ramsdale and the question marks, I think he's added something. You know, again, it's a decent amount, but money's been spent. The Premier League is not going to wait for our players to hit maturity and things like that. We've got a squad. And again, it's another body in early for pre-season. It's another body in to adapt to what Arteta is doing. And it gives us a stronger depth. You know, let's be honest. You know, not everyone's going to play. One thing I'm excited about next season is we're going to have a stronger bench. You know, let's be honest, with respect to a lot of the young academy players, you know, the whole bag of them got to travel up and down the country with Arsenal in various competitions. I say various, I'm capping a bit. But none of them who played Premier League football, you know, Patino, Amari Hutchinson, Marcelo Flores, I'm sure Mika Beref, Zach Swanson. There was bare dons on the bench. Shout out to them. But who come off the bench and played in the Prem? I'm not criticizing Arteta. That tells you beyond probably at this moment in time being squad fillers and bodies and, you know, we have to use you sort of thing. You're not really going to be used in the immediate future. And also when you look at, for all our problems and injuries, you look at how COVID at several points in the season, when we had the FA Cup game and got savaged at Nottingham Forest, the start of the season on top of everything as well. So you hope these things can be avoided, really. And again, an absolute dream world for Arsenal would be obviously winning trophies. For me, absolute dream world next season would obviously be what I call the Arsenal treble, would be winning the FA Cup, qualifying for the top four, and obviously bringing home the Europa League. Is that a fallacy? Of course, but that should be the aspiration, or is to go as far as you can. For that, you need a squad, really and truly. And it's nice to see. And for me, again, we've got to be real, you know, if while we want to see Raphinha reach his full maturity and all of these things, assuming he signs for the club, Gab is just the same, and anyone else, we need to be honest. If we're potentially not challenging for Champions League and whatnot, by all means, Barcelona come back in for him 18 months or whatever, and then we can sell him for an extortionate fee and reinvest that, similar to what Liverpool did with Coutinho, and they never look back, really and truly. So yeah, man, you know, I like the caliber of player. Obviously, I think Arsenal fans are being a bit harsh. I think in his own little way, I think Arsenal fans are downplaying Jesus, but he takes us up another level. If you look at it on the aspect of goals, I can't disagree with that. But he takes us up a level. Raphinha, I think fans, myself included, probably putting him on a pedestal that he's not currently at, but he raises us a level. Telemans, just by doing the basics, a lot of question marks, raises us a level. And then by all means, you all add together, the existing players continue to improve. I wouldn't say happy days, but it allows us to dream again, really and truly, if I'm completely honest. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. We get into 200 likes and we get into these articles. Everything is ready. Transfer thoughts. Let's call it that. And again, for Raphinha really to thrive, he's going to need overlapping fullbacks. He's going to need, whether it's Fabio Vieira and Odegaard, they're going to need to get close to him, play 1-2s. Whoever's on the left-hand side, they need to be opening up space as well. Because what you want to see is us, we want to be utilizing wide areas, and then you want our technicians to be inside, finding little pockets. And crucially, when one player might be marked, take advantage of the space. That's what you typically see by the two best teams in the league. You be watching Liverpool, everything's with Trent on the right-hand side. Before you know it, Jota, as Arsenal fans, he's on his bike and he's headed it into the back of the net. Or City, they pass specifically to disrupt your team shape. We need to do that, really, because as you know, everything's in front. Against Arsenal, if you're a fairly decent defensive outlook, and you play two banks of four and you're a back three and you're a narrow unit, we're not breaking you down, really and truly. So these are things we need to improve. And for me, the most encouraging thing about guys like Raphinha and whatnot is because they're all marked men in the Prem, but you can't defend against all of them 9 times out of 10, really. One might have a bad day, but the other one might be the one who's obviously the guy who gets us 3 points, really and truly. We should go challenge for the title next season. No, share that optimism, big up yourself, but let's learn to walk before we can run, my guy. There's a lot of things that Arsenal need to address and do externally, internally, and at all levels before we could ever utter the words of Arsenal in the league challenge. But hopefully it's a Leicester season and Arsenal are the beneficiaries next season. But apart from that, spent much. Your comments not coming up. Arteta hasn't spent much. People just have an agenda. In his first window, he spent 80 million, which is nothing. No spending in the January, and spent a decent amount last summer for the first time. I mean, I do think there are agendas, but we have to be honest. We spent the most in Europe last season, really and truly, in the summer. We spent that. We've torn up a lot of contracts. It's Arsenal Football Club there. He's been given a lot of freedom. He needs to do the bits and pieces, people, really and truly. It's as simple as that. Certain managers only got to bring Petr Cech. Certain man asked for Zaha and got Pepe. Respectfully, certain men were expected to play out from the back with Lichtsteiner, Socrates, Leno, and a couple of other duds, respectfully. At the end of the day, it's Arsenal Football Club. I think people have an agenda towards seeing like it's Arteta or die trying. Some people don't want to give the guy a chance. I want Arteta to get it right. I don't advocate sacking the manager right now. If it gets to a certain point, then it is what it is. But it's not Arteta or die trying. It's Arsenal FC, really. And there has to be that degree of pressure. And I do think he spent money. Damn right, Raphinha will be a statement signing from the board more than the Jesus deal. I mean, I just hope we spent correctly. As long as we know fundamentally how we're going to utilize Raphinha, then I can put up with it because we've spent money. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but we spent a lot of money on a completely different player per se, but same position, big money, fan excitement. Ultimately, there wasn't much said. Now, the difference is obviously I do think Raphinha's IQ is higher than Pepe's. I do think his mentality is better than Pepe's. I do think Arteta actually wants him. I never like to utter the comments Premier League proven, but you can't beat around that fact as well, folks. So make of that what you will. One sec, people. Sorry, folks. YouTube's messing with me. What? All right, we're back where we was, people. Let's go. All right, said the title of the video, defensive. Maybe Raphinha being linked with Arsenal. Someone doesn't want it to happen. That's not nice, is it? Anyways, I want Sekou Fofana. Isn't going to go in PSG, quality player, but another one bites the dust, man. These 4 deals are crucial to us. Jesus, Raphinha, Martinez, and Telemans. Trust Simon. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, my eggs before they hatch, whatever the saying is, but boy, Arsenal fans were usually one or the other, and it makes you think, just if we had this mentality when we signed Partey, where fans were tricked into thinking, do we get a 6 or a number 8? You need both. I mean, I'll give us, people can say what they want, but I think last summer, by our standards, in terms of collective transfer market, it was quite good. I'm quite happy with Ramsdale, not the finished article. Personally, I think the jury's still out on Ben White, but I don't think he's terrible. Tommy Asu's been a revelation. I still like what Lokonga long-term can offer. Tavares is Bandulu, but let's just try and make some peas from that. And then, Odegaard permanently. I did, we did start at the season, at the start of the season, say all the media said we spent money, we can't see how the club's improved. End of the day, we got 5th. Now, again, Arteta and some of these players were involved in the team that finished 8th the previous season. So do you necessarily get praise for righting your wrongs? My point being, I'm going to cut the club some slack, really, because, again, being linked and all these things, especially as Arsenal fans, and it is drawn out, you just want to see them sign, really and truly, especially with what you see City, getting Calvin Phillips. But if they do get that is intent. That is, I didn't think we'd get Raphinha. Definitely if there's not a relegation tax in there. Jesus, all right, cool. You've done your due diligence. We've heard we've put in 6 months towards signing him. That's cool, isn't it? Actually bidding for players that want to play for us, not Vlahovic and things like that. Telemans, we've done the groundwork. Martinez is one that to me has come out of the blue, but if he can complement the squad, it is what it is. And for me, a lot of people, myself included, have given Edu a tough time purely because I think it's, generally speaking, I think it's dangerous to have a novice manager and a novice technical director. You have an experienced combination of the two. Again, Edu played a part in last season, and I think Edu, from how he's speaking to the media, just what the little sound bites you see, even with Fabio Vieira signing, I think he's very thorough in what he's saying. He's quite crystal clear. Maybe he's learned his lessons from last season, where I do think to a degree his words were taken out of context about we don't have targets and things like that, but they're crucial. And what's crucial is you have backup plans to the backups, because by all means, right now, we're led to believe we've got a free run at Telemans. What if someone says, you know what, we'll actually take a punt on him, or, because certain players that might not be leaving in June, look dead set to leave come September the 1st, and vice versa. The market we have to be reactive. We need to be open to somehow waking up tomorrow and Barcelona have somehow found the money to get Raphinha. And again, I don't know how, I don't know the context, but I see a picture floating around on social media with Raphinha and Di Maria, who's also a player being linked to Barcelona. I don't know. The Raphinha one, I won't believe it until he's in a shirt, really and truly. But again, for that one, crucially as well, I think we need backups, because clearly we're looking at right wing. Maybe with Eddie and Nketiah's new deal, we're looking at right wing. The talk was Bowen. It was Gakpo upon a time. More fan-led, but Gnabry rumours were there. And I'm sure there's a couple of other guys are missing out. Even Noah Lang can play out wide. So there's been some sort of emphasis. Maybe that's, maybe Nelson's reintegrated, or maybe a lack of faith in Reece Nelson. And obviously where we're at with Pepe, what makes the club actually want that, really and truly. So hopefully we can do a thing. But until we do a thing, who knows? Anything is up for debate, folks. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. We're at 89 likes. Not too long to go before we got 200. Shout out the Twitch ones. We should be aiming for top 4 this season and a League Cup. I hear that. How are we pulling this off? We are moving hella aggressive, DG. We are going to be fluid at the front. We are massive. Pause. I hope so. I share the optimism, man. Let's see these guys get in. Aaron Hickey link seemed to have died when obviously it seemed like Lisandro Martinez became the guy allegedly that Arsenal want. Surely the Raphinha money could be spent better on Gnabry and Telemans. I'm not complaining. I do think a centre mid needs to arrive anyways, but yeah, man. Do you still think we need... Do you think we still need to think about a Partey style player for when Partey picks up an injury? Jack, it would make sense. But I mean, with El Nene signing a new deal, and the hope that Lokonga, obviously, with 1 year's experience under his belt, I'm not asking you to be Thomas Partey tomorrow, but obviously, if you could step up, then I think we're given a lot of confidence, and I feel a lot of fans shut up about Basuma, if Arsenal fans specifically, about Basuma if Lokonga does the business. Plus the fact we're going to have 5 subs next season. Big up Cam again. Crucial point. DJ, I don't get the Sterling hype. Sterling is at City is good because they create many chances. I mean, Sterling's lit, man. I think he'll cook at Chelsea. But I think at some point, Chelsea have all the false nines you want. But I just think you need a proper, someone that's just a 9, by the book number 9. I don't mind who we sign as long as Arteta can get something out of them to improve the team. Amen. Big up Escobar. Like the video, helps DG Nation grow. Please don't spam. You're killing it, man. You're killing it. You're killing it. You're killing it. You're killing it. I'm still not convinced, refusing to expect it. I mean, we all want Raphinha, man. It will be a bitter pill to swallow if somehow Raphinha doesn't end up in an Arsenal shirt. We should go for Tony from Brentford too. Then we have Jesus, Nketiah, and Tony to rotate. I don't think we do that though. I feel Jesus is going to show just how good he is with more game time at Arsenal. That's the hope, man. That's the hope. If he's not on that, then we're in problems. I think if we get Jesus done, get Raphinha and Lisandro Martinez, then push for a decent centre mid, whether that's Telemans or not, I believe that's enough to get top 4. Well, it's enough to challenge, man. Discount of we don't know what other clubs are going to do, but yeah, that should be enough to be keyword competitive. I think I speak for most Arsenal fans when we know trophies are not guaranteed. We're not in a spectrum of Liverpool and City right now, but we'd like to be competitive. Just be for me, go into big games and know we can do something. It kind of kills me that it's a shock that if we ever beat Liverpool. When was the last time we did that? Probably in a cup, or we beat Chelsea or whatever. I want to be competitive in these games, really and truly. Our top 6 record is not levels. Of course, long term, I want silverware and stronger trophies in terms of silverware as well. With all these quality attackers coming in, there should never be a time where we have to carry someone in bad form in the starting 11. I hear that. It's Kroenke's fault, by the way. Money could have been given to Wenger and my man Ems, but they chose to give it to Wolf. I mean, my listeners, show me the money, show me the lit players. DG, are you more confident about Raphinha deal now than 2-3 days ago? I mean, every day that goes on and every live stream, we put Raphinha, I think I've seen Raphinha and Jesus' face more than my own recently in the thumbnail. We get excited, but the dream is free to hustle sold separately. For me, I'll only truly believe Raphinha when I hear medicals done. And in fact, probably just holding the shirt, man, really and truly. I'm not even on to Kroenke for not spending. I'm on to them for inactivity and letting standards slip, leaving dons to their own devices and not hiring available elites, taking gambles on rookies. Can't disagree with that. We need better mentality next season and the ability to kill games off early. I don't want to see us have 1-goal lead for 60 minutes shaking behind the sofa. I think you speak for all of us. DG, do we sack Arteta if we don't get top 4? It's a difficult one, but I would say taking a lazy view on it, yeah. Because if you provided you do everything else but get top 4, that's cool. That's what we wanted Emery to do, innit? Give us a base of decent players. He's flushed out a couple of bad characters, quote unquote. There's a good crop of players now. Maybe another unknown manager that's a bit more experienced can make his name, or maybe someone else is on the market or whatever. And again, as much as I want us to persist with Arteta to a degree, and I'm encouraged to see what he develops, it's Arsenal FC. Again, and we've got to remember, no matter the fact that Arsenal have fallen off, this is a better deal for Arteta than Arsenal. Could you imagine getting Arsenal as your first job as a manager and all of these free hits? I have no doubt he's going to be a better manager. He's in his 40s now. He's had all the stuff that Arsenal have had to deal with since he's come, again, pause, everything, on and off the field. There's been several things, COVID, the wage cuts, there's been bare things. That's going to make you a lit manager. But I don't want it to be a thing where I learned 10 things not to do as a manager here. So when I leave Arsenal, I'm going to do the opposite at other clubs and I'm going to thrive. A bit like young players. I don't want to just develop young players for no reason. Are we a farm? What are we doing? 123 likes, 500 odd of you locked in, people. YouTube are doing me dirty, man. Raphinha and get Jesus over the line. Arteta would be reaching close to 400 million outlay with more income as expected. No excuses can be made for 400 million. I mean, we have to see. I need to see the VAR for that, but yeah, man. As I said, Aaron Hickey links, they seem to have gone away, man. With these depth signings, no one will have a lack of minutes. I mean, unpopular people are going to have a lack of minutes. People are going to have a lack of minutes, It doesn't, just because you'd have Raphinha, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, Raphinha if he signs, Gabriel Jesus and anyone else. Everyone's just not going to play for the sake of it. That Saka was playing every game because he was doing the business. If he's that, it's calm. I know we bottled some games and things, but I think a big part as to why we actually did better in last season and putting runs together, we're playing the same teams. We're allowing relationships to build upon on the pitch. I know Liverpool rotate probably in the last 12 to 18 months. I've seen them rotate more historically than on the clock, but there's not too much rotation there. Again, City rotate everyone, but there's a couple of individuals who are always playing, really. Last season it was probably Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne historically, Ruben Diaz especially, and then obviously there's every now and again at City there's a player who really makes themselves untouchable for a season. So I hear you, but I don't think fans can have everything. We can't be competitive, play everyone gets a game, and have stability, really. You know, there's different relationships that need to be built on the field, really. But where rotation can be done, especially in the front four positions, including Odegaard's position in the 10, who wouldn't want to see it, man? We're building a team for the future. That's true, but we need to do more, man. I hear that, but I don't like this narrative that spent bare, my guy. You know, he has kind of spent bare. You know, a couple of the wage bills have been at his doing. He has done that. You're right, and he has laid down the foundations. But as you know yourself, there's some people that are going to cut every excuse for Arteta under the sun. There's some people that are not going to give him any excuses. There's been times he needs that. I think he's got a lot of ability, but we have to be real. Even though I defend the guy, there's been times he could have been and probably should have been sacked. And managers under different dynamics with a different narrative at a different club under more scrutiny, they might have been on summer holidays extremely earlier. So let's hope he could do this thing, man. We're trying hard for Martinez. That's why Hickey links have gone. Exactly. It's true. He spent 250 million so far. Bracy. Now, VAR quickly, because raw. Arteta moving like me, a football manager, just spending bare peas, can't even keep up. If we win Europa League and FA Cup and finish 6th, I'll be happy with that for the season. Yeah, I mean, he can cut it. I'll still scrutinize Arteta. Obviously, I'll give him his haylocks for the FA Cup and winning a European trophy and the carrot of winning Europa League, which gets you into the Champions League. But I'd still have to ask questions, you know, not to belittle the cup, but you know, we've been a cup team of recent. We need to do it over a 38-game period, and that's our issue, really. So I would still ask questions, but in that case, he probably wouldn't be moved on. Arteta's going to be lit somewhere. That's my biggest. That's why I'm so onto him more, because I see him learning all these things and being lit everywhere. Like I said, in terms of management, he's an embryo in his managerial career. Like he's in his early 40s, if that, and he's been here for 2-3 years now. Got, you know, time flies, and it's naive to expect him to do the Wenger thing and be here forever. Really, you know, them days are gone. Really. Now, do you think he stands to be at this moment in time our longest-serving manager? Not just because through the obvious post Wenger, you know, he signed a 3-year deal. You hope that he can do things. Exactly. Raphinha was with Di Maria yesterday. I don't trust these dons, man. I don't trust. I just have this beaky feeling that with that. Deco, obviously, in Barca, it's the calm before the storm. They're letting the media make the noise. They're letting Arsenal try a thing. I just have a feeling Barcelona are somehow going to finesse their way out of this. But I didn't think we was getting a Bamian. I do think there's some encouragement, there's some hope. But when it comes to these big player pursuits, like the Locatellis, like Vlahovic, like Raphinha, there's probably some other names out there. I can't get excited until they sign. Like, obviously, it took me a while to even believe the Gabriel Jesus thing. I thought you was gonna do this Juventus or Inter Milan or even Chelsea. But yeah, man, it is what it is. If we get this guy, it's lit. I think it's 50-50 still with Saliba. DJ, I think Raphinha will make us better in attack. Well, if we're spending all these Banzinos on him, then we're doing and he doesn't, then we're bugging out. Pepe can do bits. Why don't teams want him? Arteta rubbed him out. He's slightly rubbed himself out at this point. But you're right, still. I mean, if you follow him on Snap and Instagram, he's landed back in Paris. I think he went on holiday to either Dubai or Mauritius or something. So you hope to see Pepe's future sorted out, whether his new agents who he's just hired get him out or, you know, the club. Clearly, all our energy, in my opinion, seems to be towards tying up allegedly, probably with Lisandro Martinez, getting over the line with Jesus, trying to take advantage, if there is anything to take advantage with, of Barcelona's financial issues and get Raphinha, maybe even Telemans. And then we're going to have to go with outgoings. And to be honest, when we're moving this fast, you help yourself because the window closes in September. Let's just say ideal scenario next week. I keep saying Richarlison, sorry. Raphinha, Jesus are agreed, and we're making progress with Martinez and Telemans, and they're basically done deals. You know, obviously there might be other areas Arteta wants to go with and things like that, but then you give yourself a month or so to get rid of outgoings, you know, to sort out Bellerin where the wages are going to be an issue. Torreira, you know, Fiorentina, Bandulu does, and there's a bag of other players. You know, again, I might be ignorant, but it seemed a couple of weeks ago, Leno, there was aggressive talks to Fulham. What's gone on there? Is it the calm before the storm and getting these guys out, really? You know, so let's see what's going on. And for me also, if you're able to do that, then the Martinellis, the Salibas, who if I'm Saliba, I would wait to sign a new deal until I see what's going on. Probably wouldn't entertain actually committing my future until at least January. And Bukayo Saka, trying to get them lot gone. You know, we make a big song and dance about resources, and we did hear, it's very long time ago, but we did hear, did we not hear, sorry folks, what's going on? I'm getting fat. Trying to move. Did we not hear our transfer budget for this summer? A part of it factored in the renewals of Saka and Martinelli and Saliba. So if we managed to pull this off without that, then shout the accountants. But you know, you'd imagine they've pre-guessed that Bellerin and well, just even Bellerin and Pepe. Sure, I'm no maths man, but surely that is significant wages that could be reinvested. Like again, just because of when Pepe was signed, 100% he's top 3 highest earners. I know Lacazette's gone, but 100% Pepe has to be in the top 3. He might even be the highest. I don't know anything. Well, I swear the Sun come out with the wages. I don't know anything, but I just, who could be on more? Trying to think with the new signings, but they ain't not really on nothing. Surely it must be. Obviously, Lacazette's passed out, or I would have said him. Oh, sorry, my bad, Uncle Partey. Completely forgot about Partey. See why you need to stay fit, Uncle. Partey, obviously. Well, in fact, let me share my screen. Sorry, folks. There you go. Big up you lot. What's the like ratio at, people? 200 likes. We start looking at the transfer news. Under 50, like 50 of the way there. No need to swear about Pepe, man. That's not nice, bro. Ski, come on, man. It's Saturday. I hope you've all had a good week. But looking at the wages, come on, man. Obviously, Eddie signed a new deal out of the top 5. Bro, no, like Partey, obviously, we signed him, so he's going to be up there. Pepe's Bandulu dust. You'd be saving 7 million of the year if you clip that. Ben White is where it is. Bro, look at the piece. 250 million or something like that just from Bellerin and Pepe alone. Imagine that was the right. That's a Bandulu right hand side. So you deal with that, money saved. Leno, that's 5 mil a year off the wages. Martinelli, I mean Pablo Marie, sorry, my word, 4 million off the wages. You know, bearing in mind he's contracted until 2024. Torreira, 3.9 million off the wages, provided these guys all go. And again, I don't know if they'll get contracts like this at other clubs. Some of them might, some of them may not. Might come down to your gaffer. Ainsley probably needs to keep it moving. You shave 2 mil off the 2 mil off it. You know, bro. Fabio Vieira, you got it. Bro, you're earning less than Renison. Fair enough. I ain't pocket watching. You're earning more than me. I'd earn more less than Renison if I could. But yeah, man. You know, Renison, am I the only Arsenal fan that completely forgot this guy was at the football club? Surely someone in a couple of years is going to get arrested for money laundering, fraud, or something with Alex Renison. Something just don't add up. And the Buki Arsenal coaching staff, whoever one suggested him, you know, you're going HMP surely. But yeah, you start clipping some of, well, listen, well, being a bit unfair to a couple of them, but the wages somehow start getting freed. And that's one thing I have liked it with Arsenal. You know, I'll give the club that where our academy is concerned. You're seeing a lot of players bust out very quickly on loan. You're seeing a couple of people leave permanently. I'll say two. Obviously, good luck, Daniel Ballard as well. Hopefully, there's a buyback and buy clause inserted in that contract, because if the fee really is 2 million, then a bit like selling Guendouzi for 9 million, we've zanged ourselves. I might be acting, but you should be getting at least 10 million for Ballard. He's played for Northern Ireland a lot of times. Good in League One for Blackpool. Had a good Millwall. I don't like the club, but had a good spell at Millwall. So yeah, man, we're doing. You know, we're getting young players out on loan / permanently quickly. We're attempting to bring people in quickly. You know, we're doing what we need to do. This is the sort of aggression you wanted to see for a while. And you know, it's these things that fans can identify with, because you know the talk is being matched by the actions. If that makes sense. So yeah, man, some interesting comments. Keep them going. Brady would be good. Unpopular opinion. I think he's meaty still. It looks like we have a lot of money and we don't need to sell, so we can sign players like before. The interesting thing will be if we sign another one after we sell players. I hear that. It's not necessarily because of money, but we have to sell players. We can't get around it. It's a bloated squad. We need to find balance. You know, a lot of these players have no chance. Like, obviously, it's over for anything can happen, but it's over for Bellerin, Torreira. I would throw Maitland-Niles into that. I don't want it to be probably Reece Nelson as well. Probably someone, not everybody's going to leave who needs to be moved on, but some guys need to go. Gakpo, keep that guy out of our club. DG's Meady. I mean, anything can prove, can anyone can improve and anything can happen in a year. But right now, it looks Bandulu, man. He looks booky. I can't lie. It looks very real. I actually got faith in Sambi. Same. Just look over your shoulders and stop playing like a deer in the headlights, and you'll be all right, bro. Telemans or Fabian Ruiz? Fabian Ruiz personally. But bring Telemans to the carpet. I mean, I like Sekou Fofana, as I said earlier. You know, he's been doing well in France, but it just seems like Arsenal are being linked with him for no reason. I do think he's probably a player we've scouted and stuff, but we were not after that profile of player, and he's been linked with PSG. I think our name's just being mentioned for the sake of it. White plus Gabriel, awful bit harsh. They're a bit naive, but it's a bit harsh. Saka bottom, hey, you're getting blocked, boy. No Saka slander. Get the hell out of here, man. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. Can't lie, I'm to this Twitch thing, but man said 5 on skip words. To be fair, my Twitch ads are set automatically, and if you're subscribed, it's calm. Big up you lot, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. On TV, when you lot are watching Love Island, you lot don't cry about the ads, but you don't want to help the team out. You don't want to help the nation out. Shame on you lot. I hope you lot's emotional heartstrings are being played on now. Shame on you lot. Shame on you lot. I find your lack of faith disturbing. I find your lack of ability to listen disturbing, man. And I thought I was deluded. You know, this ain't the right place for you. If you want to just listen to hippie crap, bust out, man. Of course, I make it like I've literally said I'm excited potentially about deciding. But you lot want me to flip in? Well, shout to the galley if you're out there, be taking off my top, doing spinneroonies and acting like a prat. That's not me. If I'm ever negative or positive at any scale, it's because I genuinely believe that. I don't know how many times I need to say if we sign these guys on gas, it makes me believe we can be keyword competitive, but I need to sign Dons. You're always saying, DG, what is our midfield on? Even with Raphinha, our creativity is still an issue. Exactly, man. DG, please also remind people that historically Arsenal have been positive in the beginning of the market, but we end up selling some decent squad players like Xhaka without a replacement. I mean, there has to be some sort of, some players might want to move on, really. Every year Xhaka, it's cold feet. It's not really the transfer window if you don't have a Xhaka leaving rumour, so that would be one to watch, especially at this moment in time where we don't see a midfielder arrive. But didn't the Athletic say, on one hand, for us to probably get Telemans, there needs to be that movement? I don't know what to make of that. Appreciate the Canadians tuned in. Pardon me. Barca ain't going to give Dembele a new contract, so I can see them go for Raphinha. Hey, why you shouting, bro? Chill. If you trusted the process, then this transfer summer window was easy to see coming. Fair enough. I trust what I can see. And right now, well, I don't even trust myself, but I give you your credit. You're doing what you need to do. I believe we can get top 4, but in the case they don't, I don't think they sack Arteta, but purse strings will tighten. Well, arguably, if we don't get top 4, you'd have to argue you can't tighten the purse strings, really. He spent outlay before adding wages. He spent money lowering wages for players, which didn't equate to value, is what we needed to do to get more players and end up wages and up wages again. Most winning teams have a high but respectable wage budget. City are spoiling the Prem. I think they're spoiling their fans, really. It must be nice. Them guys got some good problems to have, man. The most important for me is the defense. I've been an Arsenal fan since the late 60s, and the best teams we've ever had always had the best defenses. Any competent team, if they don't have a decent defense, then they're going to struggle. I do think there's been improvements, but not levels, man. DG, signing / transfer market. If you want to VAR, Arteta spending, they break it down. Okay, we'll look at that in a sec. What's the likes ratio at? Promises are promised. We've hit, big up to you lot. Sorry to make noise, people, if we've hit 200 likes. Couple more questions and we'll get straight into that. Shout Shirley, shocked to see Ben White's wages. No, man, are you really? Ben White, English tax, spent 50 million on him. He was in the Euro squad. He was always going to be on bans. Obviously, he's in his early 20s. He's going to be able to command that, and he's going to stay in and amongst that, really and truly. Admittedly, I expect it a year from now or whenever, if Saka signs that deal, I expect to see Saka up there, because just in terms of who's been doing dirts, and if everyone was paid what they actually earn in an ideal world, Saka should be there. But it's almost a saying in life, you get what you negotiate. You don't necessarily get what you deserve, really. And it comes down, look, Kolasinac got 100 bags out of us, he fleeced us. I remember And then I clocked he was meaty because I like the way he played football, but he taught me never judge a book by its cover. I'm seeing this one bodyguard looking done. What game was it? I was at the Emirates. Literally, it felt like the first ever touch I saw this guy do. He done a Ronaldinho Rabona. I was like, okay, this guy's bugged. He's not the power. Well, he is a powerhouse, and you saw what he did to Bakozo in that, but you wouldn't want to fight Kolasinac. But he's not the guy I thought he'd be. I thought he was gonna be like some Ivanovic, Vidic sort of mentality, headering bricks and moving mad, but crazy. Really. Ballard gives me Maguire vibes. To be fair with you, I think he'll play Premier League football one day, you know. I think he's fairly decent. I just want to make back. That should have been a 10 million. I think 2 million is way too cheap out of everything, man. Left back needed. Ahem. Ahem. Yuri Telemans, it's not even bringing it up. Yuri Telemans is the less expensive player and can be compared to Fabian. So that's why I think they go for Yuri Telemans. And it seems like Telemans might actually be on this. Bro, don't remind me of that FA Cup final. I mean, that Europa League final. Let's just blank that from our minds, man. That was finessed. Shout out to you lot, man. I don't know what it is, man. It's some people just got selective hearing. It's boring, man. Like, by all means, criticize what I say, but like, get on to me for what I exactly said, man. Come on, man. I don't deserve to be misquoted. Jarring. Get the likes. I'll shout G1. Shout Dan. Twitch gang, you're amazing, mate. You'll always hear in your numbers. Love you guys. Stop cutting onions. Kolasinac sold every Lacazette. I'm not gonna lie, Lacazette sold my dream. Lacazette sold dreams. Lacazette sold dreams. Sly also sold dreams. A little bit. Who else sold dreams? Well, Pepe didn't sell me dreams because we was on YouTube. I'm telling you a lot about that one. I think the last time Arsenal have genuinely sold me dreams, I'd say the Locatelli pursuit. That's why I learned my lesson, that don't get invested. I wouldn't say Torreira sold dreams. Torreira, I just don't know what happened. Like, he was the king of the castle one day, you know, he had chance and that, and then just got finessed, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. It just didn't, it just died out. I don't know what happened with Torreira. He needs to open a book, really. You know, certain fans were comparing him to Kante. Told you not to do that, man. But you did. Saka could ask for near 200k now and probably get it, as he should. How many players in the squad are Champions League caliber? They're going to have to prove it, you know. Somehow they almost touched it. Man says, Xavi and Iniesta, you don't deserve good things in life, man. I would eat all the ads every day. Everybody eats, be appreciated. I'm even like, I can't read. What's going on there? I need my glasses. Saw Raphinha was first for passes blocked from Premier League wingers. Exactly the energy we need, defend from the front. Obviously, that's stuff that's going to entice Arteta, and you have to be good defensively. DG sold us a dream. Boy. Context is key. We're spending a fair bit, but we have to look at our competitors. They're spending the same, but also pay way higher in wages. I mean, what we can't do is act like we've got some perfect wage structure, really and truly. Be rewriting the wrongs. And again, spending is necessary. It is what it is. Spending correctly is necessary. I do think Edu and Arteta have inherited a problem, and they're doing their best to get out of it, but they've had to hold some L's. Torreira was world-class, supposedly, when we signed him. Don't know what we went wrong. Anyone that said Torreira was world-class, smoking something special. Bro, certain man that wanted to leave Arsenal have turned crap. Like this comment says, if it will allow me to bring it out, which is acting, they want to cut, you know, Marseille want to cut Kolasinac from the squad. William did a lot of chatting about Arsenal, and now he went back to Brazil, and they want to flog him off as well. Pressing hype. I mean, that's positive stats, man. It's a bit like Fabio Vieira. He's up there for certain things. Hey, what's going on here, man? Big up DG. Always brings us content from late night streams to day streams. Huge work, great respect to you, brother. Come on, man. If that was the DG Nation badge, is what it is. Why is El Nene still at the club? That's harsh, man. He's a decent lad, man. Bigger problems than him, man. Arsenal, please stop the delay. Buy Raphinha. We need a perfect ball carrier. Amen. But yeah, man, enough of the waffling, people. Let's actually get into this transfer news. 44.53. I don't know how Denis Suarez sold you a G, because these men just look mager from the start. Like, you actually have to wholeheartedly believe in something. Uncle Partey slyly good player in that. I won't quite agenda him, but uncle, I thought we're going to see a lot more than this right now. Decent lad hype. Yeah, man, he puts a shift in. You know what's there when someone's booky, but you like them. He works he works hard. He plays for the badge. All them mediocre things English fans like myself come out with. Pardon me. Before we get into the Raphinha thing, I just want to recap the Jesus one for some of you that may have missed that. Again, check out my previous videos because we went in. Reached an agreement with Manchester City for the signing of Gabriel Jesus for 45 million. There's obviously going to be add-ons there. 25 years of age. First thing, we got our first choice target. 25 years of age. If he hits it off, he's in peak years, and we can either achieve hell of a lot with him, or we could sell him for a substantial profit, really and truly. So yeah, shout out to Gabriel Jesus. Again, in terms of a medical, personal terms are believed to not be a problem. Other articles are saying it's going to take 7 to 10 days to complete that signing. So we'll have to see what happens there. DG never disappoints. Mad respect. Thoughts on Reece Nelson? Keep, loan or sell? My heart is saying a new 2 or 3 year contract. Go stay on loan at Feyenoord or go elsewhere. For him, he probably needs to go somewhere where it's less of that. Are you going to stay at this club? Or are you going to go out on loan and just stay somewhere for a couple of seasons, develop some importance and get your career cracking and things like that. So yeah, that was Gabriel Jesus, people. Looking at Raphinha and specifically what the Athletic have said, Arsenal set to intensify efforts to sign Raphinha from Leeds United. Arsenal are set to intensify their efforts to sign winger Raphinha from Leeds United next week. The Athletic understands. Further conversations, are believed to be scheduled with the 25-year-old. There's a sense around the situation, and among the other teams interested in Raphinha, the Arsenal are now firm favourites for his signature. Now, when I see that at face value, people, it arouses my imagination from a footballing perspective. But come on now. Come on, Brazilian, left foot, skillers, lit, all these things. It's crazy. Martinelli sat him on his arse at the Emirates when he ripped him with a fantastic piece of trickery. So, if you can't beat us, join us. So it gasses me. It shows intent with Arsenal. It shows that we're not resting on our laurels. It shows we want a competitive side. It shows a lot of the talk that they're saying they want to match it up. But if his heart is set on Barcelona, if Deco has travelled over there, it'd be naive to not expect Barcelona to somehow sign players by the end of the window, bearing in mind where we're at now. It kind of makes me think we're being taken around the houses, and maybe that's just me. Again, if we look at like on a Rothschild sort of thing, there's got to be some encouragement because David Ornstein, the Athletic, they get the bookie, the info from Arsenal, as we all know. So there's got to be something. And at the same time, until I see bid accepted, personal fees are agreed, medical scheduled, everything's happening. He could do, well, in fact, we're not Spurs, so we could never get done like that. Hopefully these words don't come back to bite us. But Willian had a medical. He heard Chelsea involved. He cut it out. These things happen. So I'm not trying to rain on the parade. It's definitely a bit more encouraging than we should be. But yeah, let's see how it goes, man. And you kind of want to, can we start seeing these over the line? So apparently, yeah, further conversations are believed to be scheduled with the 25-year-old's reps as the North London club look to secure a deal. Maybe we're being leveraged for a better deal at Barca. Apparently, there's a sense around the situation, and among the other teams interested in Raphinha, the Arsenal are now firm favourites for his signature once again. Having already seen one offer rejected by Leeds last week, Arsenal are ready to enhance their proposal in the hope it brings them closer to an agreement with their Premier League counterparts. There is optimism at the Emirates Stadium that they have manoeuvred into a strong position, and it is thought Raphinha is open to a potential move. Raphinha, come on, man. See what we're doing over here, man. You're the Brazil manager. He's not even going to be able to watch other teams. There's too much. Sorry, people. There's too much Brazilian dons. If he wants to keep up to date with all of you lot, he has to watch us. I used to pray for days like this, man. Everyone and their nan on social media crying about Arsenal potentially breaking FFP rumours and reports and things. I used to pray for days like this. Daniel Eck, keep your money. Silent, stand serious. I am shameless. I know, people, but can you blame me? Chelsea and Tottenham have shown interest in the Brazilian international, but the former are currently focusing their attention on Raheem Sterling as Chelsea, and the latter's first choice target is Everton forward Richarlison. Anyways, Raphinha has enjoyed 2 fine seasons since moving to Leeds, bagged 17 goals in 600. I'm moving mad. In 65 top flight appearances. So let's, potentially myself included, as I said, we're probably putting him on a level he's not. he's not the finished article. You know, he's not a household name per se in the Prem. As long as we know how good he is now and how better he can get, him, Jesus, Odegaard, Telemans, because I would say in terms of the young player thing we're doing, they're the players I kind of want to see a tune out of. And obviously the others, we can get something. And obviously you've got scope to grow. It's not quite the same, but this is what Liverpool are doing with attaining Mane from Southampton, Jota in the present day, grabbing Diaz from Porto and things like that. Even City, you know, I know City are going out there and spending 100 million on Grealish now, and they've got Haaland, and you know they've just spent 42 million on Phillips and whatnot. But they were signing cute little acquisitions. You know, everyone could have went for Bernardo Silva. Kevin De Bruyne signed for them for what 40 odd million. Gundogan was there. Diaz weren't that much. They've signed guys that other people probably could have went for. People. Again, it doesn't, you know, it says that we're to intensify our efforts. It doesn't specifically say we've placed a second bid or a second bid's been rejected or any talks around medicals and things. So there's a long way. There's got to be some degree of optimism within Arsenal to make them want to bid and intensify efforts. But again, there's a lot of variables. We could be being played by his advisors. You know, the only people that this benefits is Leeds. I mean, out of all the articles we've read or seen in relation to Raphinha, I think it's the one where you're kind of now seeing who's really going to go in for him. You can never rule out anything, but it appears that Chelsea at this moment in time are trying to get Sterling over the line. Don't know what Spurs are on, but it appears they're going back for Richarlison. Raphinha's contracted until 2024, and his heart is still set on Barca. You can't rule out staying at Leeds, even though I don't think that's going to happen. Really and truly. Apparently, The Athletic reported earlier this month that Leeds are sympathetic to Raphinha's ambition and do not intend to be unfair or obstructive if their valuation is met. It's understood that Leeds no longer anticipate Raphinha accepting a new contract, something that appeared to be on the cards midway through the season. And although he's not directly asked for a transfer, it's no secret that he sees himself playing in a European competition. So it is what it is. One sec, where's the other article? So that would be lit. Yeah, I stand corrected with the Diaz one. But again, Kevin De Bruyne was a fairly attainable fee, as was Gundogan, as was several of their signings. Cancelo, half of these nucleus of that squad, they hardly all broke the bank at the time. Where else have we got? I just want to say, where is everything? Bit disappointed, folks. Bit disappointed. Apparently, Man United have made an offer for Raphinha. That was 22 hours ago. I don't know if that's legit. Again, you've got to be careful of these funny games being played because it doesn't help anyone apart from Leeds. So, yeah, that seems like Raphinha. Once again, Arsenal have agreed a deal in principle from Manchester City's Gabriel Jesus. Apparently, we was working on it for 6 months. We always ask the club to do their due diligence. Fair enough. Edu and the club have had a plan, all that lip service. They've made it happen there, isn't it, really? Once again, we've agreed a £45 million deal for Jesus. And I think for us, by Arsenal do a lot worse. City have done quite well to get a tidy little profit on the £27 million they paid for him initially, considering he's got a year left. You couple that with probably selling a couple more. It's got oil money. They're doing their best to kind of have a positive balance sheet. Again, we're expected to seal the deal for Gabriel Jesus in the next 7 to 10 days. And obviously, Pep Guardiola's side have signed Calvin Phillips, more or less. Atletico Madrid, we spoke about this yesterday. Apparently, Atletico Madrid want Hector Bellerin. Arsenal are happy to accept a loan fee. He's got a year left on his deal. He's on big wages. There's nothing else we can deal with. My fear is that you see Atletico Madrid linked with a number of fullbacks. The Melina guy from Udinese, who we were linked with, Emerson Royal of Spurs, Bellerin, and a couple, even Wan-Bissaka a few weeks ago. That tells you they're just looking at right back. So is there credibility in this, or is it just 2 and 2 and getting 5? Obviously, because the man's Spanish. Couldn't begrudge him, you know. I don't think even Simeone can make Bellerin switched on defensively, but I don't care where you go, who you go to, just that you go in it, really. We can't afford to let your deal run down. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Hector Bellerin and Atletico Madrid. Bayern Munich chief gives transfer update on Arsenal target Serge Gnabry. I haven't read this. He says that the club want to keep Gnabry. Amid speculation, he could leave this summer and may potentially rejoin Arsenal. Specifically, what have you said? I'm very clear about that. He's a great guy. We really want to keep him. We'd love to extend with him. I think we showed him the necessary appreciation. I just hope he chooses FC Bayern. We will intensify the talks over the next few weeks. But if a player doesn't want to decide for the club, then it's only fair to tell us so that we can find a solution that makes everyone happy. I mean, maybe they'll offer you a bigger contract if Lewandowski leaves, or maybe they'll say no to you leaving because it looks like Lewandowski, ironically, will be going Barca. And that's the one thing that I think could give Arsenal a benefit is how high in a priority list is Raphinha. Are they treating Raphinha how we're treating Telemans in the eye? We're going to come back for you. Because it's, you'd imagine Bernardo Silva's going to need more time. Getting rid of a De Jong or someone that's going to bring funds in, getting rid of half of their players, bringing in, they've been linked with Lewandowski, that's going to be of more importance, and several others. So are Barcelona treating Raphinha like Telemans and saying we'll come back in for you? I don't know, man. Allegedly, William Saliba could leave Arsenal this summer with Marseille considering a £25 million bid. I mean, Arsenal and Arteta have been very vocal that he needs to return. I want Saliba to sign a new deal, but for me, I'm saying I'm looking at the first 6 months and then I'm deciding. And to be fair, I know what I'd need to do in January if I'm not playing significantly. So we'll see how that one develops. I'm sure you're all tired of hearing Saliba linked with moves away. Once again, another one confirming that Arsenal have struck a £45 million deal for Gabriel Jesus. It will be completed next week once personal terms are agreed. Allegedly, talks are also ongoing with Leeds for Raphinha. And then there's another priority, which is Lisandro Martinez. Maybe you see him and Telemans deals intensify when we confirm Gabriel Jesus and if we or not sign Raphinha, really. So we have to see how that one goes. Again, Arsenal prepare new bids for Raphinha and Lisandro Martinez after Gabriel Jesus agreement, people. The Gunners are working around the clock to execute a transfer window like no other to erase the disappointment of last season's 5th place finish after Arsenal's. We don't need to worry about that. We know we didn't get top 4. After several weeks of work on a deal, Edu has finally agreed a package with City for Jesus, who is obviously set for personal terms. Talks over a deal for 50 rejected. At the beginning of the week, sources relate to the Express Sport that Arsenal were operating cautiously amid fears Leeds were looking to encourage a bidding war amongst potential suitors. Tottenham also believed to be ready in their opening offer, while Chelsea and Barca are also in the fray, although the Catalan giants are handicapped by their financial struggles. Raphinha is now a priority to Arsenal, who are expected to return with an improved offer once they have tied up the remaining formalities with Jesus and his reps after City gave them the Arsenal's opening proposal remained undisclosed, but it seemingly fell considerably short of Leeds' valuation. As you know, Leeds are looking at replacements. Cody Gakpo and Porto's Octavio have been floated, people. Once again, we remain allegedly in contact with Ajax to try and sign their 24-year-old versatile defender in Lisandro Martinez. So, yeah, it's a positive time. Hit the like button if you haven't already. What are you lot saying in relation to that, people? No doubt you've all got a bunch of opinions. Raphinha is a good player. Arsenal really need him. I hear that. And to be honest, Marseille, apparently Sao Paulo's having cold feet about his job. So would it be wise for any player to sign there, not knowing if you're going to play? I don't know, man. You'd have to draw your own conclusions. Bellerin getting his ass handed to him every training session by Simeone. I'd pay to watch that. I'm a Barca fan. Our main target is Lewandowski and Conde. Again, you got Conde, Bernardo Silva, Lewandowski. You lot are treating Raphinha like Telemans. You know he wants to sign. It doesn't appear at this moment in time. Chelsea are doing other things. Spurs are doing other things. Arsenal aggressive. There's not much, but he wants you. There's not much other things going on. So we'll have to see, man. We might not get him. We might not get him, man. I don't know, man. It's still just a talking point. We're just here to talk about these things, my dude, man. If he signs, he signs. If not, oh well, man. Morning, bro. Again, big up the nation. See you are close to 50,000. I hope it happens sooner or later. We're flirting with it, man. We're flirting with it. We keep pushing and striving. Subscribe if you haven't. Appreciative to all you supports, man. I get it, though. Everything is seemingly too perfect, too early right now, and that's not like us. Listen, I don't know, man. I think one more day of strong reports to Raphinha, and I'm joining the hype, man. I do think he ends up at Barca as well, DG, but I'm going to dream. Trust. I don't think Ornstein said he sold to Arsenal. 65 million quid. I mean, probably be overpaying, but if Arteta's done his homework, then it doesn't matter. You know, do I think that's overpaying for Raphinha? Do I think we should, and we probably do have something in mind where we walk away, of course, but you know, if Arteta knows how he uses the player and he really does, if he really is in love with the player and admires him, as some reports say, then he should work. End of the day, the price tag is the price tag, innit? People make a song and dance about it, but they'll shut up about it. Nobody talks about Van Dijk's price tag because he's good. Everyone talks about Maguire's price tag because he's shit. You know, it's simple as that. Everyone talks about £72 million Pepe, 60 odd million Ndombele, you know, and all that, you know, 100 million Lukaku, because these men are stinking up the joint. Like, if you're doing the job, it's calm. To be fair, man, it's calm. If you read my chat, we are in top 4 this season. I don't know about that, but if you're an Obia, man, I don't advocate that. But if you're going to do the voodoo thing for Arsenal to get top 4, then sacrifice your soul, then do your thing. I don't know what's going to happen to Smith Rowe Martinelli with Saka and Raphinha. Train well, take your chances, then give Arteta that headache. I think we'd all like to see the Brazilians up front of Martinelli, Raphinha, and Jesus. Do you think Raphinha could play up front? Probably, but let him do his thing on the right-hand side first. Looks like the game plan is buy now, sell later, send players out on loan until they run down their contracts and get them off the wage bill if clubs don't want to pay the money. Hear that? What else you lot saying? Leeds have the money and sort yourselves out. Leeds get the money early and rebuild the squad. I hear that. Even though Gabriel is probably our best defender, Saliba and White would probably be our new centre-back partnership as they are better on the ball and dribbling out from the back and are competent defenders. I don't think so. Arteta is very persistent on the left-sided centre-back, so I think it will be initially Ben White and Gabriel, and I think it's just down to Saliba to take the chances. You know, give Arteta problems, make him want to play free at the back. He might be saying, you know what, Tomiyasu shaky, I don't want to lose Ben White, so I'll put Ben White at right back, because I think if we're not going to sign a back at right back, we have to look to utilise that a lot more. How much would Jesus have cost if he was English? Too much. Way too much. I hear that, though. Aubameyang, most underrated striker of the decade, bro. I don't know about that, but yeah, man. One of the most significant things about acquiring the service of Jesus, better yet, that no one seems speaking about is experience in winning major trophies, and that's the type of mentality we need. I mean, you look at the players we've been recruiting, I do think there's been mentality. You've got guys like Ramsdale, who he might be on the young side, but in a high-pressure footballing environment, especially relegation, you have to puff out your chest. You know, you've obviously got, you know, Ben White, who's expected to be a leader. Lokonga was Anderlecht captain. Fabio Vieira has obviously been captain for Portugal's 21s, and he's won a league title. And, you know, Odegaard's been at Real Madrid, captain of Norway, and all of these sort of things. There are players of a certain ilk or a certain mentality. You know, Xhaka's been retained, does he not? I don't know if he officially captained Switzerland, but I'm sure he's done that. Tierney's captain Scotland and seen as a young leader, you know, again. So there has been that shift of recruiting that sort of player and that sort of young elementary leader. It's almost like, I don't know, I remember when I used to work in advertising, they used to have like development programs at the company where it's like there was a young leaders program, ironically, where literally you could sign up. It reminds me a bit of that, where you obviously have to show leadership skills and then you can go hone it in, which is, you know, we're expecting young men to lead even younger men and things like that, which it could be good. Again, a team's a reflection of the manager, and maybe not so much in terms of the football Arteta wants to play long term, but it does somewhat reflect it in that they're young, hungry, with a point to prove, really, you know, and haven't really accomplished nothing in the game. Not household names, really, in a positive way. Big up, I see that already. One love for that. Saka and Raphinha, who can pass through the left, they can both. I want to get to a scenario where they're rotating. I remember Torreira getting man of the matches 3 games in a row, and I was getting gassed, definitely talented, but mentally not there. I hear that. Arsenal do not have excuses after this transfer. I mean, I don't think anyone wants excuses, man. You know, again, it started off as the top 4. Now it's become the top 6. Top 6. Then soon it's going to become the top 10. There's no assurances. Why do you think City, where they're at the top of the mountain, they're trying to get even higher? They're going out and bringing bare players, really, because once you're at the top, the only way is down. You know, competition is everything. I think all we can really demand of the club is to be competitive. We all want to win trophies. I know we can do the heritage talk and say Arsenal's a team that are engraved in trophies, which is true, but reality is it's serious competition out here. The only thing I demand of this club is competitiveness, and I think that's all fans want. Beyond that, we'll revisit and speak about things that happen when they happen, really and truly. And there isn't excuses. I mean, I don't want us to spend money just so we can go there and go, oh, well, Arteta, you've mad money. No, because we need to spend peas correctly as well. Because we bought stuff, we've bought guys, but we've bought duds. Less of that, you know. Sign better players who can affect this thing positively. Appreciate that. Torreira. I mean, I just remember being at the Emirates where Torreira was crying. I was like, when the Xhaka thing happened, it's like, what's wrong with this brother, bro? I love Raphinha, but if we don't get Telemans, then I don't know. But boy, if we don't address the midfield, it's a mad thing. Raphinha is overpriced. We don't need overpriced players. To be fair, I know you can get deals for players. And I did think, considering English tax, Leeds probably sold Phillips a bit too cheaply, in my opinion. And I know a couple of guys have been bought smart, but no one's going to sell good players cheaply. Not really and truly. Van Dijk costs a hell of a lot of money because they're a good player and you're trying to buy him from another English team. So to a degree, you may have to pay that premium if and when, really, unless you get things like a contract running down. 90 starts, he scored about 60 goals, not bad. If it's assuming that's is that Jesus or Raphinha? Love Raphinha, but I'd prefer Telemans and Lissandro for now. I hear that, Callum, but I prefer Richard Raphinha still. Bring that in, man. Paqueta would be lit. I'd prefer for Fabio Ruiz to arrive as well, or for Fabio Vieira to be taught how to play that left-sided centre mid. What's your thoughts on Fabio Ruiz? From what I've seen, his quality. I've been saying his name all stream. Because he's a quality player. I'd love for him to be at the Emirates. Respectfully to Xhaka, I think you're a completely different player from Xhaka, but he's everything fans and maybe even the club pretend Xhaka is. Torreira ain't got that dog in him after I saw that. We probably are. We're missing a bit of height, and we're probably, for me, more important than height to a degree is physicality. Everyone needs to be a bit tenacious, and when we can be a bit tenacious, the press is going to be better. Look at City. Half of them they got height in their team, but Sterling, Bernardo Silva, they're best like slight of built dons. They're just piranhas and stuff like that. They're just on it, man. Still no top four. Well, we have to fight for top four, and these players make us stronger. I don't know what else you want beyond that. My only concern about Vieira is his physique. If he can manage the physicality of the Prem, I think he'll be a star. Arteta can't handle Raphinha due to attitude-wise. I mean, Arteta's probably done his background on the player, and he's probably got no concerns if we are disaggressive in pursuing him. And I would say, I'm still here, folks. Where did you find out Raphinha had an attitude? That's the main guy. Who told you that? Like that Raphinha's got an attitude problem. And if he does have an attitude problem, I think that's good. Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Ian Wright, Tony Adams, they all had that positive chip on their shoulder. They all had that positive attitude problem, you know. The best musicians, footballers, athletes, anyone in life, as long as you're humble, they've all got that positive arrogance. They've got that swagger. How do you think Henry and Ronaldo and all these guys are scoring half of them goals that they scored if they do not have arrogance? Like, you need that arrogance in your game. You need that level of arrogance. You need this level of shameless. I'm a one-go wonder, but you need this level of arrogance, man. Look, smacking it first time. That is the stuff we need at this football club. You need self-belief. As much as I like Arteta, you need arrogance. Half of these legends at all these clubs have arrogance. It's required. It's a necessity. As long as you know when to be humble, really. You know, we need players that, for me, are a bit more level-headed. That's why I actually want Maddison and would love Grealish, really, because with every bad game, it's just a bad game. I was shit today. Tomorrow I can be better. Or every good game, I was good today, but it's calm. We need a bit more, man. Imagine the influence of the Brazilian boys to the English ones and vice versa. The team will benefit if the transfers happen. Inshallah. Tell them again. I hear you, lot. How last season has gone for Pepe, I don't think teams are going to show interest. And if they did, it could be as low as 10 up to 15. What do you think? Bro, we'll be lucky to get 20 million or just a dry loan for him. Will be a quality signing if you get Raphinha. I'm a Leeds fan. Will be sad to see him go. Danny, man. Got that Pepe if you need it. You know. So I don't know what the suiting's about, but I don't know. What if Jesus and Partey get injured? Then there needs to be players in the squad who step up, man. Really. Every year prices go up. I don't have a problem with 65 mil. It's not my piece, man. I don't advocate spending stupidly, but what do you think about Balogun stays and be our first striker since we only have 2 strikers going into the season? I mean, it would give us a body and depth, but for him, you're not going to play enough. You played half a season at Middlesbrough, and you've definitely learned a lot there. Go out on loan again early and sort things out. If you're part of the squad, I don't mind, but are you gonna be able to sit there in August of 2023 and say I've played 30 odd games in all comps or in the championship or whatever? If you're not getting 20, 30 odd games at these lots level, then it's dead. You know, they've done all the theory tests. It's now time to start physically driving. You need to be playing men's football. Of course, I'm excited for Raphinha, but get over the line, bro. Get over the line. Get over the line. Get over the line. Shout out my Jamaicans locked in, and also my Asians. Come on, come on, come on. We're out here. We're out here. We're out here. Nketiah and Xhaka as backups. How far is Yuri Telemans? It seems like that's the back on the back burner. Where did you hear Arsenal put in a second bid? We just read the articles. We should be going for Fofana. We need that sort of player in the squad. 27 years as well. Fuad, it seems like he's going PSG though. I mean, Paqueta's Brazilian, so if you're going to bring him in, but probably need to tell him this thing. Tavares has the physique for the Premier League, but that isn't everything. You need this. Any reason to drop it, bro. Any reason. Come on, man. Shameless. Come on, man. I feel me feeling like Vieira doing Sky Sports Super Sunday or something. Come on, man. Lord knows why fans want pure choir boys in the team. Give me some rude boys, and we need it because when we're getting moved to at Tyneside or them difficult places like White Hart Lane, like Crystal Palace, we need some of that. We need that chip on the shoulder. As long as it don't go too much. One does wonder how Arteta's gonna, in general, deal with that sort of player because just in general, it's easy to deal with Mesut Ozil. He's past what he used to be. Aubameyang's form made it easy to rub him out. What if? You know, one of the players that's actually needed for us week in, week out starts having an attitude problem. That's just something as a manager, you know. It can't be easy. Carlo, obviously, it's easy for Carlo because it's Carlo. His name holds weight, or Pep for the big homies that Pep manages. But to a degree, there's no escaping it, you know. You can't. It's naive to assume Carlo Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola, even Carlo with the Madrid thing, that he has a 100% positive relationship with every member of that squad. You just have to know which battles to win, which wars to win, when to puff out your chest, when to be a bit easy with it, because you're not always going to have this pattern where the club always pick you over the player, and it shouldn't be that. Why do people care how much we spend on players? Every team has been doing it for years. At least this way we get players in. If Arteta fails, a new coach will have a team to work with. I hear that. Arsenal fans have not experienced quality depth for so long. Buying two field players in the same position seems alien. Arsenal fans always do it, man. Don't get Odegaard because you got Smith Rowe. DJ, have you seen there's going to be an extra Champions League spot in the league in the season after next? Well, if there's 5 spots, then you know what can they should reinstall it for the season that's just gone, man. Then we're in Champions League and we're living life. Raphinha signing will uplift the fan base. Amen. To go with Jesus. Not gonna lie, give the club a bit of credit for buying in the Prem. For a while, we only bought from other leagues. I'll give it for buying the right Premier League players. Respectfully to Cedric and William and David Luiz, you man are not 30. You know, ironically, one of the best Premier League signings I think we've made of recent, beyond the obvious names, with Jesus and Raphinha landing, and maybe even Ben White. I'd actually say Matt Ryan, because that was the first time I thought we had a certified number 2, and shout out to him for assisting Eddie against Fulham. Jesus shied away from the striker role at Man City. Is he up to task to be our main man up front? Osman, he's got to be now. It's time to, you know, you've qualified from university now. Now it's time to go and get a graduate job at Arsenal now. Now you're the number 9. I still want him to drift out wide and do all these things he was doing at City, but now it's the time to do other stuff. Martinez next, blimey. I hear that. Not gonna. Oh, sorry, I already seen that. We need suitable backups, bro. Too many of our main players are injury prone. I hear that, and it doesn't matter who we sign. When Thomas Partey, Tierney, Tomiyasu get injured, and God forbid, touch wood, pause, get injured, then we're in trouble, aren't we? Which we hope that isn't a factor, really. 324 likes, very appreciative of that. Can we move towards 400 people? You're all right. We do need backups, or we need mitigation plans. What do you expect from Partey next season? I mean, Partey was playing quite wavy in the lone 6. I think Partey had a decent season. It's just unfortunately it's same old. Just with you, Tomiyasu, Tierney, just stay fit, bro. I'd say just keep bullying the games like you was, but mainly, can you be fit for 30 of the 38 Premier League games? Tomiyasu, all I can ask is, yeah, I could say maybe could you go forward a bit more, but can you just stay fit? Tierney, can you just stay fit? Them, man, the only problem with them 3 is they're not like when they're actually not there. By all means, of course, Tomiyasu, Partey, Tierney can have bad games and have had bad games, but my bigger problems is when they're not there. I mean, if Lokonga can step up, then that's the Partey backup or someone to play with him on a big bro, little bro thing. Now we're getting into a scenario where we can play 3 technicians in the middle, yeah, and play some number 6s, and just we can, our front options. We've got some depth there. We've got some decent things going on, man. DG, when will Turner be announced tonight? No clue, man. Shout Turner, but Myth, man. What do you think about the Telemans transfer? I'm on that. Bring that to the carpet, man. He wants to try and help us bring that, and it gives us more depth. I'll be real, I don't believe in our midfield options right now because I believe in Partey. If Partey gets injured, then it's peak. I like Lokonga, but I'm rooting for him all the way, but he's still young, untried, and untested. Off the back of last season, I don't trust him away from home. El Nene's El Nene, you're not respectfully good guy in that. 4 or 5 games, I know you're going to do something, but when I'm looking at you past that, you're going to show me a level, Telemans isn't here yet. Xhaka, what you see is what you get. I do think he's agendered. I do think he's underappreciated and overrated according to the fan base, and he's always going to polarize opinion, but he's not probably of the level consistently to be playing week in, week out and for it to be running through him. So obviously I'm still open to Operation Odegaard learning to play as an 8 and Fabio Vieira. But yeah, in terms of actual centre mid options right now, it's crazy. Now you can be doing big bro, little bro, man. Listen, if Lokonga plays 30, then you two shut up shop, really. But it's probably an El Nene thing. Yeah, Seko Fofana's going PSG, man. I'm liking where this window is going so far, but still work to do. Gotta get them over the line, man. Big up DG, mad work rate. Have you slept? Yeah, I have slept, man. I have slept, man. Appreciate you for asking me, mate. It's always football questions. Never, how you doing, DG? Love Tierney, but the injuries are frustrating. I heard Partey's injury is a different one and not a recurring one, so hopefully his injuries have been bad luck and can play more next season. Forgive my ignorance, but I'm at the point with Tierney, Partey, and especially where, however you got injured, bro, it's just your name next to injury. I know Tierney in hindsight, listen, you can never begrudge a man for playing for their country, but played with an injury, you got injured, you kind of did that to yourself. There was times where we found out Ramsdale was playing with a hip injury, Saka was playing on an injury, Ben White was playing on an injury, Ramsdale against Liverpool playing on an injury. How much of this has been going on, and how can we stop that? How was your footy game, DG? Did you win? You talking about 5-a-side? Come on, of course, 5 goals. Can't cap on me. Should try for Hour after 2 years of links. I mean, I'm still on bringing Hour to the carpet, but yeah. Who's on free kicks, Raphinha or Odegaard? Brazilian thing, man. Odegaard can slap it, but Brazilian thing as well. We got to get centre mid covered, and do you think Xhaka would leave if we did? Maybe if another mid... I think Xhaka only leaves if he asks his Arteta. He genuinely says, I want to go. I think the club would... I think he's available for the right price. I don't think the club are actively trying to move Xhaka on. And I don't think they should, actually. I think if an offer comes in, study it, but I wouldn't say Xhaka needs to leave today, sort of thing. I think there's guys that need to cut. I don't think we can move with Xhaka forward as a main player, but I don't think he needs. I don't think he's one of the first out the door, really and truly. There's still talk of Arsenal preparing a fresh offer of 47 million euros for Lisandro Martinez. Apparently, Arsenal, courtesy of Ryan Taylor Sport, Arsenal have made fresh contact with Martinez reps since their opening offer was rejected, and they're confident he'd be open to moving to the Emirates Stadium, whatever that means. Imagine just waking up and bam, Richarlison signed. That's the next step. Can we do that? In fact, we did that for Fabio Vieira, so things are changing at the Emirates, man. I hear it. Where's Pepe going? Don't know, man. At this rate, he needs to come play for Rongan's, my team in the Barnet League. We'll take that. What's happened to Austin Tusty? Bandili, man. Money laundering signing. If Raphinha Martinez don't sign, who should we target? Boy, I'd go back for Aaron Hickey, and then beyond that, I don't know. No. The pauses are required. I don't like being offside. Is Arsenal's medical team just not that good because these injuries are going to cost us? Yeah, don't know. DJ has a smile like you've never seen. Hey, come on. $1 million smile. Don't smile much, man. Balotelli settings. Apparently, company called Lokonga, the new Yaya Toure. Myth, or does he have the potential? He's got it, boy. To be in the same realm as Uncle Yaya Toure, you've got a lot to do. Yaya Toure could bully as a defensive mid, came to the Premier League and became a different Yaya Toure and said, listen, I'm not the Barcelona one, just started sourcing duns. I don't think so, in it. But if he really does have anything close to the potential of Yaya Toure, bring it on, really and truly. Would finally have a replacement in the middle for Vieira. Maybe company's just helping out the lads, man. He's just helping out the man, them, man. You know, he's just helping guys get a move. He's just gassing up the thing, man. Capping. That's unbelievable amounts of cap. I love Lokonga. I actually like Lokonga, man. I think Lokonga's going to be good. I just feel it's not a mentality thing. I think his mentality is good. I just think he lost a lot of confidence last season, and he was very poor away from home. And again, he's like a deer in the headlights. I do like him. I'm a miss Lacazette. We should sign Morata to replace him. This window don't seem real. Allow me. You're messing up the weekend, man. Come on, Gabriel Jesus. But actually, love to Lacazette, but Eddie Nketiah's little start to the end of the season just showed me. I actually forgot what it was like to see a striker running behind, to see an actual striker that centre backs don't want to get in a foot race with. I'm seeing my striker get pulled back. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this. Respectfully, Laka, because you did your thing, but Gabriel Jesus is 30, man. I don't know for goals, but yeah, Martinez should be an interesting signing. I don't know, because some sources you read, he looks lit. Some kind of rub him out, really. Who you get? Raphinha, Jesus, and Richard. I don't know for that Richard one at the bottom. We don't need that one. To be fair, I'm taking Richarlison, but I have to start. He's about to sign for Spurs. But we got Raphinha. Assuming we get Raphinha, Jesus, we got to go with Martinelli and Gabriel. Boy, certain man got Lucas Moura and I'm ready, and Emerson Royal and them sort of downstairs peak. Would you take Paredes on a cheap deal under 20 million? Why not? Pardon me. Arsenal fans were bugging out. 70 million for Isaac. Or his car's in London, man. No, he's signing for us. Why would he be here on holiday? Thoughts on Gundogan? Lit player. If he's stupid enough to waste his last couple of years at the top level, him being 31, 32, signing for Arsenal, why not? Should we not just keep Xhaka and El Nene in midfield and sack the rest? What? Nah, G. No. Xhaka and El Nene is what starting pivot to the end of the season. Fair enough. I hear that, man. We need to start getting a move on where outgoings are concerned. Predictions for next season? What? I don't know. We just have to take things game by game, keep working hard and seeing where we're at, man. As you know, when the season's going on, I don't look at the league table. We just have to keep working hard. Just work hard every game, man. I don't know for predictions. I don't know. Let's just work hard, bro. Kieran Tierney to stay fit for the whole season. Let's put that one into existence. I don't believe it myself. Who should we get in midfield? Fabian Ruiz, man. Fabian Ruiz and Zaire Emery. He's like 16, 17 years of age, but go and steal him from PSG. I think he's going to sign a pro deal there, though. Where is Pepe, Richarlison, and Saka playing? Who's the first name you said? I don't know for him, but he's gonna have to keep it moving, really and truly. The others, rotation. There's 38 Premier League games, man. For the last 2 seasons, for club and country, Saka's been spent. So give him a rest. Group chat lost their mind when I said Isaac is Welbeck with clout. That's harsh. Jesus can walk on water. Flipping hell. All right, United's target, Malance's joined Lyon. Agendas need to get agending. Eddie scored more goals than Isaac last season, but no one talks about it. I don't know about that. Man said, here goes Gaffer. Here goes again, Gaffer DG. You got to, man. You got to. Political Palmer settings. It would be a solid window if we sign Jesus, Raphinha, and Martinez, Vieira, Turner, and possibly Hickey. I don't know. I just don't trust Matt Turner, man. Like, soccer tax. I need to know that you play football and not soccer. And beyond that, it is what it is. You can't blame me. We signed Renaissance, so every keeper starts off on a minus in me. DG, can you see Arsenal being high scorers next season? We need to. By God's grace, Jesus 15-20. Eddie Nketiah 10 Premier League goals minimum. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli reached double figures in the league. Odegaard gets there. Bring it to the carpet, mate. Thomas Partey, 30-yard screamer. We're claiming that this is the year the wait has been too long. He's got it. Unpopular opinion, Saka has reached his ceiling. Did I say? I think. Say it, people. I think I stepped in. Shit, my Crocs are in shit. Oh, that was just that opinion. None of that. None of that Saka slander, man. None of that. None of that Saka slander. Keep that unpopular opinion to yourself, man. I'm playing. Like I said the other day, DG, we're doing the business. We have been very active. Get the guys, man. If you have a viable alternative, you can rest these players. If you don't, you'll play them until they break down. Amen. Wear and tear settings. No Tierney in Saka slander allowable. I ain't blaming the medical team. We need to loan Tavares, but then we are exposed if Tierney gets injured. Tavares ain't going. Tavares been linked with moves to Spain, France, and Italy. He's not going nowhere until thingy. We sort out what's going on at left back. You know, whether that's Aaron Hickey signing and being an understudy or the versatile Lisandro Martinez who's able to play there. Violate that like button. I would sign Fabian Ruiz over Telemans, but happy with either. Matt Turner is a good shot stopper, DG. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about playing out from the back MLS view. Hopefully, we only see that in the cups against them, man. There, the more active you are, the more pressure on Pep's code, man. That's harsh. So Arteta's got more pull than them Geordie Shore dons on the night out in Newcastle. We ain't even seen Saka play with a serious front three and guys are putting caps on him. Bro, it's not making sense. Like, there's just competition for places. There's just adaptability. There's enough games for everyone to play. It's all calm, man. Last question. How likely is Lisandro Martinez signing? I don't know, my guy. I mean, it's in the balance. It seems like Arsenal are going for it, really. It seems like we're being quite aggressive. We're happy to pay the money. But Ajax are, they've got a couple of players who are left. There's a couple of players linked with moves away. If they want, they're going to have to rebuild their squad or they're going to want money to replace these guys. The longer it drags out, I mean, there's got to be some optimism with Arsenal getting their guys. So I don't know. If I had to pick, I would say 6 out of 10. That's what I think, if I could. Agenda base, was it Ajax getting their players or Ten Hag had pull? Well, certain man thought just the agendas are cooking, the agendas are low. Next season is not safe for anybody. Next season is definitely not safe. Again, we've got rival fans being accountants about our finances. Worry about your damn selves. Apparently, people, Arsenal will soon submit a second bid for Leeds winger Raphinha. Club clearly received some positive signals when speaking to the players camp recently, but Arsenal where they need to move quickly to beat the competition. That was tweeted by Freddie Paxton. Last question. Hey, I'm coming, man. Pause. Got a couple of Fred saying Raphinha is overpriced and might turn into another Pepe, as well as the fact that it's unnecessary to reinforce that position. Thoughts? I mean, if you pay big money and it flops, of course that's something. And the last time we spent on a right winger, I think it's going to be different because Raphinha's actually adapted to this way of lifestyle in the Premier League. His mentality appears a bit better, like he's kind of with it. And Arteta actually likes him. I don't think he's convinced on Pepe, so I think he's calm with that. But at the same time, that's a legitimate one. I wouldn't say it was unnecessary to alter that position because, again, a lot of people in relation to Pepe were sitting there and saying, oh, Saka's overspent, give Pepe a run of games. So we need depth, really and truly. People said we needed 2 strikers. If with Eddie and Ketty staying, that's the 2 strikers and we offset that with a goal scorer. It is what it is, man. It's just, it is? It's just fans trying to water down our thing. Like I do it. The minute above you lot saw my videos, I wanted Kulusevski at Arsenal. The minute that man signed for Spurs, I went to my brethren, boy, there's got to be a reason him and Bentancur never made it at Juventus. And any other player that signs for Spurs. Bastoni, if you mess about, boy, we're belittling you straight away. And I can't begrudge anyone for doing that to us. The game's the game. Don't let them banduli you, man. Man said he had a dream that we came third in the Premier League. Imagine we had 3 forwards, Brazilians. Brazil's going to win the... Let me not talk too much. December 2022, 6 times. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, people, it's been fantastic being here, but I'm going to let you lot enjoy what's left of your weekend. I'm off to do that. Love for you lot tuning into this emergency live stream. Make sure you've hit the like button, subscribed on Twitch, etc., etc. If there's anything to talk about tomorrow, then we'll be here, people. But other than that, stay blessed, stay safe. Spurs, let them be interested. They ain't got the drip, man. Hopefully that does not come back to bite me. You lot stay blessed. Have a good weekend. Hope next week is filled with, moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. Gonna love and leave you lot. We've got agendas to run, and I'm about to agenda, as I'm sure you heard my phone ringing. I'm about to run some agendas as we speak. On that note, safe.
There's always just that active red flag, defending. I think it's like